What's up, guys? It's Crash. And Arena Breakout Infinite has tweeted out that infamous word that most gamers, such as myself, especially FPS fans, have come to despise, and that is soon. They have tweeted that the game is releasing into global early access soon. And I wanted to talk about it today, talk about that tweet. What has changed? I think there's some really important features on the roadmap. It looks a little stale. It looks a little thin at first, but I think there's some really good stuff on there. And then as well as what we can look at about the new map, and maybe we can try to decipher based on what's going on at Gamescom next month, if we can kind of see when we think that this game might release, because there's some wording in there that might give us kind of a launch window and a little bit of clue about that. I want to talk about it because I think Arena Breakout Infinite is a really interesting game, because basically, if you guys haven't heard, if you haven't played it, or you didn't watch any of my streams of playing it, it basically takes the PvP, the raiding part of Tarkov, puts some quality of life, takes away some of the jank of Tarkov, and that's what the game is about. The game is about the raids, the gunfights, and I mean just PvP to the max is what it's about. Gunfights and looting and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't wipe. There's not a ton of progression like moving through traders. There's no hideout to upgrade or anything about that. It is about raiding, and it is about gunfights. Like, it's kind of like the arena part of Tarkov Arena, but it's still the raid extraction type game mode. So it's really interesting. And I found myself, I played a fair amount during the kind of awkwardly long closed beta test. It got me wanting to play the game when it ended. I'm kind of wanting to put some more time back into it and just get into some really cool, interesting gunfights. So I want to talk about what is coming to the game. If you guys look over at the early access sneak peek and what is coming, at first, this doesn't look like a crazy full roadmap or a giant amount of content, but some of the things in here I think are really, really vital. The main marquee feature is that Renoir is joining the fight, so there's going to be a boss, and he is going to be on the new map Armory. So I was kind of expecting more maps. When I saw that there's going to be 3 total maps, I was hoping they would get closer to the number that's over on the mobile version of the game and have, 5 or 6 maps. I thought would be pretty cool, but 3, that's what there's going to be. And also, we can look over at the map itself. It looks small, it looks indoor, it kind of makes me think of factory. But if we read over in the text, it says surrounding the armory and the radar station, field hospital, and several other supportive structures, all designed to provide combat assistance. These structures are not yet open in early access. So it sounds like these other outside buildings that are noted on the map are going to be added later on. So it sounds like the armory map is going to be crazy. It's going to be like crazy early factory, really small, in your face, a lot of PvP, with Renoir going to be the boss that's going to be located on there. But it looks like it's going to undergo some changes and get some expansions as we move forward. That could potentially be some of the stuff that they're going to show at Gamescom. And then when we talk about season 0, there's going to be a new season beginning. That probably means new quests. The questing and missions things are really interesting here, because one of the things that got me to kind of quit playing Tarkov is I got tired of doing the same quests over and over and over. These are really dynamic. There's a lot of them. They change daily, they change weekly. I know Tarkov has those, but the game is really about changing and dynamic quests without any kind of wiping system. We got some new guns, which we kind of expected. The M110, the AR-57, that's the AR that takes the P90 mags on top, I believe. And then the SCAR, and then some new armor, gas mask, a helmet, the wrist T face mask, and an M32 headset. Not anything earth shattering there, but having the 3 maps is going to be cool. Some new guns and all that stuff. But if you look over in the bottom left at the new features, these things get me a little bit excited. There's going to be a kill cam. I know I messed up on my gray zone video and said there was going to be a kill cam. I misspoke. I didn't mean to say kill cam. I meant to say death screen. Bullet trajectories on the death screen. A Freudian slip. I said kill cam. But Arena Breakout Infinite is going to have a kill cam, and that's going to be really interesting. That's going to help with, kind of seeing if we can pinpoint some cheaters. It's also going to help you learn. I think a lot of times in Tarkov, there's a lot to learn in Tarkov, and it takes a long time to learn it because, you don't really learn places and where they're from. And that's one of the things I play a lot of Rainbow Six, and that's also a very complicated game. But having those kill cams to see what angles and where people like to set and learning spots can really help, and you can learn really fast. You get killed from an interesting place, you're like, oh, I'm going to use that next time. Or even more importantly, I'm going to check that next time I'm moving through this area. I'm going to check that out. Spectate is going to be happening, which I think is really, really huge, because oftentimes it's happened in Tarkov. You die and you're pretty much out of the raid. So then what happens? your people. And this is one of the things I like about Gray Zone, because you're never truly out of it, right? You're still always playing that persistent server, but spectating is another kind of way to help mitigate this issue, in my opinion. Tarkov, you die, you're always like, hey, did you get him? Did you get him to your squad mate? You wondered if they got the guy that got you, and you don't really know. You kind of give call outs, but essentially the person that's left in the raid now has to just get everything and get out. Now with spectate, I'm gonna enjoy, especially while streaming, but even if I wasn't streaming, it's gonna be nice just to sit back, mute my mic, and watch and see if my squad mates can take out and kind of get revenge and trade out the kills that happen on me. If they can get my stuff, you know, you can kind of give them some information too, based on what you're seeing. So spectating in a game like this is going to be incredibly nice. And then it sounds like they're going to be adding weather. There's only two types of weather right now. There's going to be kind of a cloudy and overcast version, and then a sunny, bright version so far. So I'm not seeing anything about nighttime yet in this game. And then there's going to be some new languages that are going to be happening. To my English speaking audience, that's probably not going to matter too much, but more accessibility for more folks is always a good thing. So while there isn't a lot on here, I think it's really good stuff. Like the kill cam, the spectate is huge. Weather, day, night in this will be really nice. It'll be kind of fun with the night vision and stuff like that when that gets added. And then 3 maps, while a little light, it definitely leaves room for improvement. There's going to be new maps moving forward, as well as the armory map getting those expansions. And then at the bottom of the roadmap, kind of inconspicuously, is something pretty crazy. If you look at the bottom, it says optimization. Don't look at how they spelled optimization, but look at the optimization. It says a minimum graphics requirement, a GeForce RTX 960. So this game is going to be incredibly optimized. You're going to be able to play it on pretty much any machine and get usable frames. That's one of the things that has been nice about these Tencent games and how they utilize Unreal Engine. Talking about Delta Force as well, I think is going to be really well optimized when it comes out. It kind of has the same engine, the vibe, the same look to it as Arena Breakout Infinite. And you know, with other games, you know, with a lot of folks not being able to play Gray Zone Warfare and stuff like that, having a game that is this optimized is pretty cool. It's going to allow a lot more accessibility. And I think it's been a really long time since we've seen a game, a shooter game at least, that needs just a GeForce RTX 960. So hopefully we get those high frame rates and we keep it stable. Now, when is this thing going to come out? They said soon. We're tired of that word. I myself am tired of that word. Ever since Battlefield 2042 did that to us, soon June boom thing. I'm so tired of it. I know you guys probably are too. But next month, towards the end of the month, in like August 21st, 25th area, is going to be Gamescom. And he talked about in an article that Arena Breakout will also be showcased at the upcoming Gamescom 2024 convention in Cologne, Germany. More exciting details on upcoming updates will be revealed at Arena Breakout Infinite Gamescom booth. Now, I'm just kind of putting things together. Sometimes when I talk out of my butt, I'm correct. Sometimes I'm not, but I just want to present you all the details and you guys can give your opinions on it. But as I read that, it makes it feel like they're going to talk about upcoming seasons, maybe that map expansion, maybe what's coming next into season 1, because they talk about more exciting details on upcoming updates. They don't talk about what's coming at launch. They don't talk about what more details are coming at the global early access launch. So I kind of feel like the game could potentially launch in the first 3 weeks of August. That's what I'm thinking. That's just my vibe. That's what I feel. And then at Cologne, Germany, they might already be hyping up season 1, because we're going to be launching into, as you guys can see on the roadmap, season 0. But anyways, what do I think of all this? Honestly, some really good changes. I was hoping for just a little bit more content, but I really like the fact that this game doesn't have the wipes. If it's something that if you don't play for a couple weeks, you can still hop back into it and be okay. I really dislike some of the pay to win type stuff where you can just buy in-game currency and always run top tier gear. But that doesn't bother me too terrible much, because you can also play it and get in-game gear. I'm just really not a fan of it, but there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it. The game in and of itself, from someone that's probably not going to spend money on microtransactions, it's a game that I can get into and play a couple nights a week and not have to put 20 hours a week into it to keep up with the chads. You know what I mean? Like Escape from Tarkov, when they have a wipe and you miss a couple weeks or you come in late, you are way behind in progression and getting the good ammo. One of the things that's interesting about this is you always have the ability to buy the top tier stuff. There's not much in progression. You can buy really good gear right off the bat. I hope they nerfed AP20 slugs a little bit. Those were kind of insane. But even in the early access, the closed beta that I played, you could get a crappy shotgun and put AP20 slugs into it and compete with anybody. You could one tap up to really high class of armor. I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to misspeak, so I'm not sure which class it was, but I was one tapping people with a crappy shotgun with really good ammo. So there's that. You can get into it, have a couple good raids, build up your money, and put together a really good kit without having to put a ton of hours into it. So I'm excited to have this as an option if people want to hop in and get some down and dirty PvP. I'm glad that this game is coming back. The optimization sounds really sick. You know that it's going to get constantly updated with missions and objectives and things to do week to week. So I like that quite a bit. And I found myself, after the closed beta, I could have told you that I could take it or leave it. But since the closed beta has been over and I haven't been able to hop into it once in a while, I kind of miss the game. So I would like to continue to talk about Arena Breakout Infinite over here. I think it's a great extraction shooter that a lot of people can play that's going to be really well optimized. If you guys are interested in this content, please let me know. Please let me know if you're interested into it, because I would really like to cover a couple different games in the extraction shooter space. And this is one of them that I think is going to be pretty active moving forward. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'd really love to see you on the next one.